it's locked up safe. And this. That's why we're leaving for a little bit. Hi YouTube. This episode we are taking a bit of a break from the ambulance build and we are heading south to try and get away from some of the snow and the cold and just to have a few adventures. We couldn't bring the Ambo with us this time because she's just not quite roadworthy at the moment. So we're heading down in Andrew's truck south to Utah and then to Joshua Tree in California. But first, we have to clear the Canadian-US border, our first international border in over 2 years. Bye, Canada. We'll be back in 16 days. Assuming they let us in. All right, this is where we leave you. And we will check back in on the other side. So, Michigan Ave, America! Hooray! We just had a pretty chill border crossing, which was really nice. And now we're trying to figure out how to get where we're going because none of our phones are working. Ha! Paper maps. Coming in handy. Who would have thought? I'm pretty sure Andrew laughed at me when I printed these out. Who's laughing? Yeah. After we made it out of Detroit, we were able to start our long haul south across the United States. We spent most of our first day driving through Michigan and then through Illinois, into Iowa, and finally into Nebraska. We actually spent our first night on the road at a little rest stop on the side of the highway, sleeping in the back seat of our truck. We woke up the next morning in Nebraska, super excited to see Colorado. And Colorado was pretty much just as spectacular as advertised. We had gotten up super early at the rest stop in Nebraska, not that we were asleep anyway, but we were up at about 2 a.m. to try and hit Colorado with enough time to scurry up a hike because the weather was supposed to be incredible.
All right, so we just broke tree line. See if I can get a shot of that. So we're heading, that's Meg. We're heading up there, so amazing weather. Couldn't have lucked out better. At the bottom, it was about 5 degrees. At the top, what do you think we're at right now? Like 0?
0 for what?
Temperature.
Oh, maybe a little bit in the minuses.
Yeah, so a little bit in the minuses. Basically no wind. Sunshine. Not a cloud in the sky.
We're here on the first summit.
It got a lot colder up here.
Yeah.
It's so windy.
It's really windy and we're struggling with the altitude.
It makes a difference.
I feel like I'm walking through molasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're just over 13,000 feet. And we gotta go up to about 14,000, so we're gonna try and make it. And this is what we're seeing on this side. There's a bit of a drop here. And we shall be heading up this ridgeline and up that ridgeline up to the peak there, and that'll be our 14,000 feet. All right, let's when I say let's get it, I feel like we're gonna like really crush it, but we're gonna really charge up this thing. We're gonna push for the summit and take some footage once we get up there, assuming we make hadn't originally planned to stay the night in Colorado. We had some unexpected things happen to us on the mountain, and then also after we got back down. So we ended up staying the night just in the cheapest motel we could find in Colorado, which was still not very cheap. And the next day we were back on the road, feeling a lot better and heading to Utah. Since we were on our way to stop in Moab for a couple of days, our route was going to take us right by Arches National Park, so of course we had to stop, and we had just enough daylight to do a great drive around the park and also take in a couple hikes. The scenery is just absolutely stunningly beautiful, even just from your car, or there's some really short kind of accessible hikes that you can do, and you can see just incredible arches. The landscape was just so different from what we have in Ontario, and it was really the perfect speed for us given how we had overextended ourselves just a little bit in Colorado just 24 hours before. So we're heading to look at some arches now. This up here apparently is Tunnel Arch. Looks pretty cool, I guess.
You guess?
I mean, no, it is. Okay, it is
so
definitely
much enthusiasm.
Cool. No, it is. It's definitely cool. I guess I just like some of the other arches we've seen have been those like, they're like super long and like open and outstretched. So this one is just like a different example of an arch in that it's like a little more enclosed, but it is really cool. And looks like the path stops here.
But there's a path right there.
Hey.
Look, someone peed in the path.
I will not condone your illegal action.
Rule follower over here.
So
I don't see any. There's no signs.
there are signs everywhere that you're supposed to stay on the path, and obviously people don't listen to it all the time.
There's no signs.
There are signs everywhere.
There was one sign when we first drove in.
I do think it would be cool though, like to head out onto like BLM land, because you can find crazy stuff like this out there, and you're allowed to like climb and explore on it and stuff because it's just public land. So yeah. I think we would like to do that without all the crowds.
And there's definitely no signs there.
There's no signs there. You just gotta do your research ahead of time and really make sure that you're actually on BLM land. So we're gonna have to do some of that if that's what we want to do. But for now, it's super cool to see this stuff because it's so different from what we have at home.
Yeah, there's no trees here like we have.
Yeah, it's not green. It's super weird.
Oh, look who doesn't follow the signs. Look at that. There's even a sign at this
He
sign.
said, go in there and I'll get a picture of you. And he set me up so that he could take this footage.
And she says, oh, just pretend there's no sign there.
I did not. He's just trying to make me
We're
look
breaking
bad.
all the rules now.
He's trying to make me look bad.
Rebel without a cause.
Oh my God. Arches was the perfect first stop in Utah for us, and it just got us so pumped up about the next couple of days we had to spend exploring the state.